Hello, hello. Good morning. I am Mahet, and today we are going to start in the Burning Crusade. Um, there, actually, one second here. Let me get myself organized. Okay. Um, yeah. Cool. This is Cricket, by the way, joining us today. Very upset that there is snow on the ground. Okay, right. Organized. So, I've been going through my collections tab. That's not what I wanted to do. And checking out what toys I still need. There's not a lot of them. This guy, the All-Seer's Eye, even though I'm like, okay, I'm not that, not that far in. I was gonna say halfway through farming it. I'm just gonna wait till the next phase of Remix to buy this one outright with bronze. It doesn't seem worth running around in Taurus. So I'm gonna worry about that. The Dark Moon Fair ones, they come from the race achievements over by the docks. What am I looking for? Dark Moon Fair. And they suck. Like, I've tried, and I tried this past Dark Moon Fair as well. The 11 toll ones are particularly challenging. I've got half of them done. Yeah. But it's so... It just feels like RNG. Like, you have to get to the first toll in the race at by 3 seconds, and it's just very frustrating. The longer race ones, I'm not quite as far along on. I got I think it was the Wanderluster 25 this week, and I probably could just go do the Leadfoot and the Powermonger next Dark Moon Fair, but those aren't what award the toys. So the point is, you have to sort of max out the race achievements, get the gold versions for a bunch of toys, and it is, it's not really fun. So we're putting that off. The Bewitching Tea set comes from Drustvar Order of Ember's Emissary. And we're working on that. I think I've tried 4 times. The next time Order of Embers comes up, we'll get another shot. But that one's pure RNG. This is PvP. I have some bloody tokens. I don't think I have that many, and I don't think they're Warbound transferable. Yeah. On this character, I only have 100, and they're not transferable. But that might be something to look into. There's a bunch of the PvP World Quest achievements that I don't have. I like to do this sort of at the end of an expansion or the start of a new one when fewer people are gonna come kill me because I'm not very good at PvP. But we'll get there. Brewfest Chowdown, I haven't done. That one seems like you need to get a group together and just funnel wins to a certain person for it to not be kind of irritating. This one, the Citizens Brigade, this is from an achievement that I haven't really looked into because it's Alliance, but it's on my list. We might look at this one later. Because I don't think it's oh no, it says World Quest. All right, we'll probably get to that one later. What else? That's another Dark Moon. Decahedral. Dwarven Dice is from pickpocketing in Wrath, and I have a rogue. She was out there working on it. I've tried a bunch of times. I probably have 600 attempts. That's very boring to watch, so I probably won't subject you to that. TCG, there's a bunch of TCG ones. Island Expeditions, I think there's 2 Island Expedition ones I still need. Am I lying? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 from Islands. And I've run so many Islands, I can't believe I don't have it. Honor level 90, we're at Honor level 78. That's not happening anytime soon. Vandrel's Seed Pouch, I probably should have put some extra effort into during Collector's Bounty, but man, it took everything I had to get all of the mounts I needed from that. Going back for a toy that's only available for a class I barely play, let's see. So anyways, I'm not going to go through all of these, but today we're going to work on, that's not what it's called. The one from Terokk, I guess, is just how I don't remember what it's called. Time-Lost Figurine, which I think turns you into an Arakoa. Yeah, transforms the caster into a Skedis Arakoa. So this one, I don't know why I just got off my mount. I've tried before, and I was really irritated because... Actually, side note, there's a chance I have to switch tunes for this, but so you originally you had to have done all the Shatari Skyguard stuff and unlocked that whole little area that we're flying to now in Terokk. And then you have to like run around and collect one thing and then collect another thing. And there's like 4 or 5 steps. And I just learned, as I was sort of getting ready to come back to this, that you don't have to do any of that, because the item you need in the end, the Time Lost offering here, can just be purchased on the auction house. And it was like 900 gold. I think that's worth it. Apparently this doesn't have a daily lockout either, so as long as this skull pile is up, you can just like keep trying. So we're gonna see. This is way less painful than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, this will be a good one to like work on and chat, but it may not take that much. All right, well, new mace mog. Does it look cool? It's kind of cool, actually, for like an old mace. I like it. I wasn't expecting to like it. All right, so we're in war mode, and I think that means that I can just go back to whatever the nearest... Where do we think the nearest rested is? Is there one in the Shatari Skyguard base? I just turn war mode off and then come and do it again. And then there'll be a little bit of waiting. No, I don't think there's an inn here. Alright, we'll just go back to... Stonebreaker Hold, I guess, is a little closer. I don't know if I'm going to bother flipping war mode on and off each time. We'll see. It's probably worth it. I'm on a mage, like it doesn't take any effort. Yeah, we'll just see how many tries it takes. I think it's a 1 in 6? 1 in 10. Okay. So it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we turn war mode off. And away we go. There's like a small chance I hop into Remix later, but I've done everything I need from that. I've got my 40 key title. I've bought everything I need from the vendors. I don't think there's a whole lot to do until the next phase. I've been pretty on top of it, which is a little sad because it's very fun, but I don't know what to do. Oh no, it's back. Okay, excellent. That means somebody else might have been here, though. Or maybe that's some sort of phasing for me switching into war mode. I don't know. Out of war mode, rather. Yeah. And we got the same mace. He drops a bunch of stuff. There's a gavel. I bet that looks the same. Terokk's Might. Terokk's Wisdom. I wonder if I open all the things, if I can get sort of a better look at this. Oh. Terokk. So there's some legs that also come in leather. Those are annoying items when they come in 2 different armor types. Some mail pants. A gavel that looks similar, but like kind of with more Draenei coloring. The toy that we're after. A cape. And another cape. Okay, so there's like... I mean, it would be great to get all of it, but I don't really want to kill him that many times. All right. Let's go back into war mode. just to speed things up a little. So I think I've only done this like maybe once or twice before today, realistically. So our like, our odds are what they are. Rarity says 1 in 10. That's pretty much where we're at. And I'm not going to run downstairs because I'm lazy. So we'll port back. I really liked the Burning Crusade. I did not know what was going on in the game at that point. I was very new. I started like 2 weeks before Burning Crusade came out. One of my friends, their older brother was playing, and I think just like wanted more people to play with, understandably, and convinced a bunch of us to buy it. But at the time, because Burning Crusade hadn't quite come out yet, so we bought the base game, and I started Druid, Tauren Druid, because he was playing Horde, so we had to do that. I think I wanted to be a Night Elf, because like what teenage girl doesn't want to be a Night Elf? But yeah, it was Tauren Druid, and it's crazy how little we knew about the game at that point. Like, I didn't really understand the forms. I had like a vague understanding of like heal versus tank, whatever. But I thought Moonfire was like a really fun ability, so I never wanted to be in bear form, even though I was like spec'd into feral. And it took me a long time to figure that out. I think I was like level 40 before I was like, oh, I'm going to have to like refund my talent points and fix this. This is a nightmare. And then I was the only like tank spec in our friend group. And Burning Crusade was not a good time to be a bear tank. That wasn't like, I don't really remember because it was a long time ago, but I don't think that was intended to be like your main tank. That was like for backup. And so it was very rough. Like when we tried to do dungeons, and I didn't know what I was doing. I think our gear was like terrible. But eventually we figured it out. By the time Wrath came out, we were raiding. So we did Ulduar and Ice Crown and Trial of the Crusader and stuff. Some of the like hard modes. And I guess by then I wasn't tanking. Yeah, I think I switched to Resto. I remember very fondly like throwing up my rejuves in tree form for Hodier and in Ulduar, just being like, well, gotta keep moving. I'm an adorable little tree. Oh, hey Order, thank you for the chat. I'll take a look at that afterwards. I don't have Discord open right now, but yeah, but thank you. We're just waiting for the Terokk pile to respawn. Apparently it's like 5 or 10 minutes. I should have put a timer down. Next time I'll run a timer, just so we have some sense. Ooh, I had a pet cell. Got 9,500 gold. Lovely. Pets are so frustrating. Like they take forever to sell. I've been wondering if I should just be giving them away to folks here instead, because I've got a few up right now. Yeah, Crimson Bat Pup, which is an emissary one. Like, that one's not fun to get. It'd be valuable. Doesn't sell for that much, but what are you going to do? Another emissary one from the Archivist Codex. Najatar Rare. The Najatar Rare one's, like, weirdly the most expensive, but I feel like probably the least irritating to get. Kind of, yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, in this tune, that's the pets I have. I think I've got not the Jade Fire Spirit, but the Ominous Flame, maybe, if that's on another character. And I should just be giving them away. I'm tired of posting them. Ominous Flame. So I have a spare one of these on one of my hunters, I think. So maybe one day we'll set that up. You guys can roll for it or something. Come on. If there's anything else I can do nearby that would take like 5 minutes. Are there other rares we can just go check out? Oh, crack. Skull pile. Like, well, do I have show? Hawkbane. He's close. Oh, crack. What does Hawkbane drop? Doesn't say. Okay, so that means I probably have everything from him. Whatever, let's just fly over there and see. Yeah, maybe we'll just, I don't know, kill the rares in this zone if they're up while we wait. Maybe in Shadow Moon as well. Okay, this guy's not up. Bummer. Is there anything close? Oh yeah, there's 3 here. One of these was really annoying to get. I remember when I was trying to get the like rare killing achievement for Burning Crusade. I think it was Ambassador Jerichar was just like never up. And I checked so many times until I finally found him. We got there. I still need Varagosa for the Wrath of the Lich King version of that, and that's one of those ones that you have to camp, and I really don't like camping rares. I'm very much a like, I'll just swing by periodically and see if it's up, like maybe I'll get lucky kind of approach, which is very successful for most things, but I think Varagosa and the Time-Lost Proto-Drake, like, you can't do that. Unfortunately. I need a sweater, it's getting chilly in here. It snowed this morning, which was pretty crazy. Not ready for that. Oh, that's much better. Cozy. All right. What else? I guess we can check the other Terokk rares. Over here. Oh, this one pats a lot. Okay. You know what? I am going to put a timer up. Because I'm sure it's been... That's not what I wanted. Wasn't... Come on. I'm sure it's been like 3 or 4 minutes, so I don't want to take too long. Like faffing about looking for other rares that we don't need as much. Not that the Mog wouldn't be nice, just for the, like the +1, but yeah. Let's see. So I've set things up now that we've got YouTube and Twitch running concurrently. And really what that means is if anyone's saying things to me, I'm just going to be a little slower to notice because of the way I've got the screen set up. So I'm sorry if I'm slow on that. But yeah, it's just a little bit scuffed the way you have to set things up so you can see both. I have 2 monitors. I think realistically that's like a 3 monitor deal, but that's okay. It's been very sweet here. So I've been fostering a cat for our local humane society. He was very sweet. Just got adopted yesterday. And so we're very excited for him, although it's sad. You kind of like, you know, you get attached to them as you're taking care of them. But resident cats, my cats, did not care for him. He was like a young boy who wasn't neutered when he first came to stay with us. They needed to wait a little bit before that was possible. And he was pretty aggressive. Like his tomcat energy was substantial. So my cats were not fans, and they are so happy today that he is gone. It is it's shocking. They're like extra playful and like talkative. I feel bad. We've had other foster pets that like have integrated like fine. They're never like best of buds, but this was a particularly challenging one. So they're pretty thrilled. Yeah, but I think we're gonna like, I'm not, oh man. I always want to get another one right away. There's some really sweet animals that are like available. I have 2 cats, Measy. I have a fluffy, like spotted tabby. Her name is Cricket. She was back here before, in the basket. And we have a sort of Russian blue looking guy named Jim. One of them will probably show up and sit in the basket. They really like it there. And Jim in particular likes watching WoW. Less so now. He'd be more engaged when steady flight was more prevalent. If there was sort of something going on where there's a mount on screen that was just like slowly flapping its wings the way steady flight would, he'd be like, yes, this is for me. This is perfect cat television. And we adopted them for COVID. Pardon me. So they're both 4. Yeah. Our vet always gets a kick whenever he has to go in. They're like, oh, Jim. He's like so memorable. He's also very sweet, so that helps. And we go for walks because I'm a bit of a crazy person. So they're leash trained. And if you're not familiar with like walking cats, the skull piles up. All right. Let's do this first, and then I'll finish explaining my craziness. But they're leash trained, and generally speaking, if you walk a cat, you're not really like walking them like you would a dog. It's sort of like a wander, and most mornings, yeah, it was serious business. Might have died if I hadn't paid attention to that rare. Usually they just sit on the front lawn and sort of watch the world. It's not much of a walk, but every once in a while they'll get some pep in their step and walk like to the corner or something. They're really, cats are timid, so they love being outside, but they don't really have like the boldness to like walk around the neighborhood. I overshot. Forgot what I was doing. I'm just going to turn war mode off and try again. Yeah, like a sniff walk, exactly. Or they're like kind of sit and watch the birdies. One of our neighbors has a bird feeder in their front yard, so that's always a pretty like solid point of attraction. But I'll never forget there was a day where we were having a little walk, and I think it's becoming more normal as time goes on, so people are like less shocked when they see a cat on a leash. But there was this older gentleman who was strolling down the sidewalk, and he was like, that cat's on a leash, and kind of like used to that response of sort of like disbelief. And I was like, yeah, this is Jim. And he was so sweet. He was like very like overjoyed and by the sort of like how novel the concept was, and he was like, well, hello, James. And this very like respectful, like as if they were meeting for a business call or something. The tone of it was hilarious. So he also gets called James quite frequently as a result of that. It was super cute. Yeah. It was really weird. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but where you kind of, especially in the morning when you're kind of sleepy, lose track of, let's restart that, the different facets of your life, I guess, is how I'll describe it. So we were out for a little stroll yesterday morning, and he was feeling ambitious, so we were going down the street, and he was walking on somebody's front yard rather than the sidewalk, which I think is fine. He's not like doing anything wrong. And there was this moment where I had to sort of like go around a telephone pole. So I stepped onto the property for a moment just to do that, sort of off the sidewalk and onto their like driveway. And there was this part of my mind that just like had this disconnect of like, oh no, I'm gonna get kicked off this plot, because I've been like thinking a lot about player housing. This isn't where I wanted to go. Like, I was just immediately like, oh, I crossed the barrier, I'm gonna get like ported out, and sort of like shook my head. I was like, this is ridiculous, I need more coffee. But yeah, I just like felt really silly. I thought I was in player housing for a second. Yeah. I've had that happen with other things too. Like, I used to like track my runs a lot with my like I have like a Garmin. I hesitate to call Garmin smartwatches, but I guess they're like, they're fitness watches. And there would be times that I'd be like out in the world, not on a run, and sort of thinking like, oh, I'll be able to check such and such out later, like on Garmin. Like if I was out for a walk or a drive, I'd be like, oh, I'll just see more about this later. I'll check the app. And I'm like, well, you're not tracking right now. That's not what we're doing. It's very silly. Yeah, exactly. Out of bounds. I hope they change that setting in player housing to not be the default of like kicking people out. I think for your house, like the interior, maybe it's not so bad if the default setting is like nobody can come in. But I feel like a lot of people might not notice the permissions section for a while, and it's so nice to be able to just like walk around the plots and see what people have decorated with, that it would, I don't think it would be so bad if the default setting would just like let you walk on plots. But we're gonna need more of these if we don't get them. Yeah. I mean, not a big deal, just sort of quality of life. What am I farming? So I've been trying to finish up my toy collection, because I'm pretty close to the end, and the ones that are left are mostly, they're like emissary drops from BFA, so it's like super RNG, and you just have to sort of wait for your reputation to max out to get a new one. The Dark Moon Fair races, which I find really irritating, that like carnival game style thing. It just feels like it's rigged against you, so it's very rare that I have the drive to try this. This is the Time-Lost Figurine from Terokk. And once upon a time, you had to run around this zone and kill a bunch of mobs for one item and then cash that in, and then kill some different mobs for a new item and cash that in. And I don't know when it changed, but I realized that you don't have to do any of that anymore, and you can just buy the Time Lost offerings from the auction house if you don't want to do all that running around. And Terokk doesn't have a lockout, so you can just kill him whenever the little skull pile spawns. So we come over in war mode, we kill him, we turn war mode off, we kill him again, we wait till it respawns. It's supposed to be every like 5 to 10 minutes. So I started a timer this time. And this toy will turn you into an Arakoa. I think there's another toy from WoD that basically does the same thing, but it's like the WoD version of the Arakoa instead of the Terokk ones. But yeah, just trying to chip away at the last ones I need. There's also one from like an Alliance achievement from BFA. I guess I can just look at rarity. That would be much simpler. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's not crazy fun, if I'm being honest. But this one seemed easy. So the ones from Legion we're just going to buy. That's no big deal. Like next remix phase. The BFA ones, I'm losing my mind. Like Mira's junk box, I know it says 1, but I had to reset my rarity. And Mira's jukebox, and the ones from Islands, so the Enchanted Soup, the Ritual Drum, and the Whisker Wax Candle, like those have been some of the worst. Yeah, unlucky. The Islands have been really unkind to me. I'm really over island expeditions, so this is the last mount I need from there, and actually all the toys have the same count, but I had to reset rarity not too long ago. Yeah, yeah. So at this point, the island expedition stuff, the three toys and the mount, I'm like, we might be waiting for BFA remix on that one. Like, I don't know if I can stomach any more islands. We'll see. Yeah. And yeah. And the emissary cache ones, so from the Voldenai supplies, that one I think I have like 7 or 8 tries on. That's been really irritating. Same with the Nazmir one for the Blood God. The T set's not as bad because I don't play Alliance as much, so I haven't tried as many times, but honestly, like, yeah, the BFA ones have been painful. Yeah. So remix for anything I don't have from Legion, which as you can see is like, I have most of it at this point. You can just buy these items for bronze. Bronze is like the currency that you get in remix. So it's, you don't even really, you don't have to farm it. You can just go buy it. The only thing stopping me right now is that they're doing Legion remix in phases, and I have to wait for phase 3 to get the last ones I need because I've already bought the ones that were available in phases 1 and 2. So that'll be another like week and a bit. So I'm not worried about Legion. So you started playing in Warlords and then did you stop and then come back just for Classic? Warlords was a tough time to start because everyone was just like hiding in their garrison. I didn't play a lot in WoD. It felt, I'm sure not for everyone, but it felt very like isolated. Yeah. Oh, Classic Hardcore was fantastic. I played some of that. Yeah. 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 I didn't even get my mount in Hardcore. I got a shaman to like level 36 and I died and I just like couldn't, my heart couldn't take it. It's like I felt so accomplished for getting a shaman of all classes, so close to being able to get my mount. I was like, I'm absolutely not starting over. That was excruciating. But grats to you. It's commitment to get your mount in Classic. I can't believe we used to walk everywhere. Like, the early days were rough. Yeah. I'd love to know what WoD was like really supposed to look like. There were so many rumors about like cut content and other raids, and it does feel a little thin. But I just don't know how much of that is true and what the real vision was, because then Legion came out and was so full of so many cool things. Yeah. That yeah, it's hard to know like where the rumors start and stop. I've been working through some WoD content as well. One of my big missions is to I'm trying to 100% archaeology. It's funny, I wouldn't have said that I was even like that passionate about archaeology, but at this point I'm so deep in that I can't really stop. I almost died and would have had to quit, but saved in Thousand Needles by a random NPC who healed me. Ooh, that's good. To this day, I have no idea who he was or how that interaction worked, but I was saved. That's really stressful. Yeah. What class were you playing? Thousand Needles was hard too, because at some point, like, unless you had like a slow fall, which you needed like a reagent for, you were pretty screwed if you got into trouble up on those bluffs. That was a mage? Oh yeah. So yeah, pretty dangerous. Not that you don't have good tools, but like when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Yeah. Had the slow fall, but you fell. Yeah. I feel that. I think I started a mage because obviously like this is a mage. I was like, oh, it'll be fun in hardcore, and I didn't. That one didn't make it very far. Maybe she got to like level 15 and something happened. I don't really remember. The worst death was a warrior that I was playing, and I think I got to like level 21, and somebody in the guild I was in was just like being very silly and like dropping a lot of jokes in the chat that were like not very good but very distracting, and I was in that part of the Southern Barrens with the raptor nests and way too distracted by what was happening in the guild chat, and I got destroyed by those raptors. There's like 4 spawned on me. I felt so stupid. Yeah, the raptors, they're just so tight and you can't really get out of that little nest. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This was the one sort of I guess I'll just open my map because we're not doing anything except waiting for the skulls to respawn. The ones like here, no. Yeah, by Northwatch Hold. Kind of like, and so it's sunken. There's sort of like basically walls, so there's only one way in or out of that little spot. And I just got trapped. Yeah. That one had felt so good too. Like the warrior felt sturdy. I was like, this is the one. I'm gonna get to level 40. Nope. Yeah. The shaman died in Hillsbrad. I got cocky. I was just starting to feel really confident, and oh yeah, I guess this is the wrong map, but sort of over here where the like the classic village is, there's like a bunch of farmhands. It's fun. What do you do? Oh, what did the skulls get you? Right, sorry. So every time the skull spawns, we click it and use one of these time-lost offerings, and that will spawn Terokk, who obviously is not very dangerous, even though I felt the need to lock in. And he drops a little bit of Mog, but more importantly, the toy that turns you into the Arakoa. So see if, yeah, this is not the one, but we ran out of our time-lost offerings, so we can buy a few more. They're like a little expensive, but for the time saved, I'll get like 5 more. So time-lost offering, which just saves you a lot of running around. I hope it drops this stream. It's not like a super low drop chance. That was kind of a long respawn though. That was over 10 minutes. All right, we'll turn war mode off. Over in the Stonebreaker hold and try again. Yeah, the reset time, they say between 5 and 10 minutes, but that one was definitely longer. The worst for respawn time is the rares in Zareth Mortis from Shadowlands. I still need the mount from there. And I have a character camped over there that I'll like check in on occasionally. And it's so frustrating. The spawn time makes no sense. There's rumors that it has to do with like zone activity, but I just don't believe it. And there's 3 rares that could spawn and only one of them drops the mount. Actually, he doesn't even drop the mount. His mount drops the mount. That one's just driving me mental. All right. Wait. What? Did I not check my mail? Did I not finish buying those? Oh, I did. Okay. My bad. Try again. Yeah, I have one more garrison mount, like garrison invasion mount. Oh, pants again. Start our timer. One more of the garrison invasion mounts that just won't drop. My attempts are at like 60. It's supposed to be 1 in 50 drops, so that one's getting a little tedious. I mean, This is a max level character in a very early zone, so it's not an accurate representation of my damage. 74 mil, yeah. We have this land shark from fishing. I don't know. It's going to be a long time until I'm like ready to do this. The fishing for coins specifically is frustrating. Like if it was just fishing, I think I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll like hang out and fish a little bit. But the fact that you have to fly around, find the special pools to get the special fish to hand in for coins, and then you need 50 of them. I already have the mount. I think I have the other pet from this vendor. Just a lot to... Yeah, it's not super fun. The fishing stuff is always a little bit aggravating, but I don't mind so much like the ones that are just straight fishing. Yeah, it's funny. I had a friend in university who also really liked the fishing in Final Fantasy, to the point where we were just talking about games we liked, and they were like, you have to try it. You have to try Final Fantasy. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And I kind of expected that we were going to play the game. And that's not what happened. We installed it, and immediately my friend was like, well, you have to learn to fish. I was like, what? He was like, well, that's the first thing you have to do. You have to learn to fish. I was like, surely we like go on quests and like kill baddies. He was like, no. You need fish. I was like, what? And so for the first like 2 days we were playing, it was just about fishing. I'm like, I'm sure there's a reason that this is good, and it seemed to bring them a lot of joy. But without the context of the rest of the game, it felt very silly. I can't imagine introducing somebody to WoW and be like, well, you have to fish. There's really good rewards from fishing. Actually, that's not a bad idea. While we're waiting, I can use this. So this toy, yeah, WoW has been my go-to game for a long time. Pardon me. Not sure why I have a little scratch in my throat. Yeah, so this toy is from a BFA achievement called Secret Fish and Where to Find Them. It's a little bit tedious, but in a fun way. It's sort of like in a secret finder's way, where you're like going around discovering like little things. And at the end you get this toy. And this toy has a huge loot table. So the advantage of dropping it down is that you can get the turtle mount. The turtle mount is on the loot table for this. I don't have it. I have the WAD version. But if you do this achievement and get this is the hyper compressed ocean, then there's a chance that you get any of the fishing mounts from it. Because I still need the pond nettle. I don't know if it has the fish from Ironforge, if I'm being honest, but it has a really big loot table from like all different expansions. You can drop it in most places. Some raids don't let you. We're not going to get the turtle mount. There's no way. The last time I was looking at the Wowhead page for the turtle mount, I noticed that I guess one of the guys, I must have looked away right when it went. One of the people who writes like fishing guides for WoW was in the comments being like, guys, this is the only fishing mount I don't have. I've been trying like since Wrath. Obviously fishing is my jam. Like I do this all the time. My faith is broken. I don't think it exists. And I felt so bad for him. Like if, fishing is your thing and that's the one that still evades you, like that's terrible. I hope he's got it since that comment came up. Yeah. Ooh, invisible smelt. Yeah, this is one of the like secret fish you need for the achievement. I'll pull it up. I don't know if the it's one of them, yeah. Secret fish. So it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure you start this with like Mechagon. Wowhead would have the full guide. I don't really remember the details, but you have to go around wearing these secret fish goggles that the NPC gives you and find all of these. I think some of them you can actually fish, but you have to get all of them, and then the reward is this toy, which is great. So I think it's worth it. And the goggles are now a toy. They used to be an item that you had to like carry around in your inventory, but they've recently been converted into a toy, so that saves some bag space. Yeah, definitely worth it. What else? There's a rare in Nagrand that isn't, well, it's not even a rare. There's an NPC in Nagrand that drops a toy I've been after too. He's just like a little bit hard to find. That's the Outrider's bridal chain. So might take a pass at that after we're done here. Oh, good morning, Condiments. Nice to see you again. I was saying a little bit earlier, I have Twitch chat and YouTube chat open, but the way it's sort of split screen for me, I'm probably going to be a little slow to notice both of them, but good morning to you. We are fishing while we wait for the Terokk bone pile to respawn. We're working on the Time-Lost Figurine. This guy. And I keep missing my fishing cast while I'm chatting. No. Yeah. I know all those casts I missed could have been the riding turtle. It's tragic. And we're at 7 minutes for this respawn, so I think the first one was closer to 5. But we'll see. We shall see. When I mouse over this, all the things also tells me that this can drop some boots that I don't have. Just in the lower corner there. I'm not sure what those are about. Sometimes, maybe I just need to come from a different angle. Sometimes this just doesn't quite work. Like, because you click the sphere to cast rather than like your fishing macro, when you're then trying to like hit your bobber again, sometimes it just like recasts, which is tough. So you kind of have to like click just above, which I don't love. And I'm not sure that the giant bobber applies to this because it's kind of a different thing. I guess I could try that. This is a great toy from Dragonflight. The reusable oversized bobber just makes your fishing bobber giant. So I don't think it'll work. Oh, it does. Yeah. I didn't think it worked with the toy, but obviously now this is way easier to click on. Yeah, it's so good, especially if you're ever fishing somewhere where there's multiple people. Like, I know in Remix right now, there are folks working on the Fisher Friends achievements. And so if there's a bunch of people fishing, sometimes it's just nice to have a bigger bobber so that you're not clicking on somebody else's by mistake. And I think all you have to do is like fish 50 fish somewhere in Dragonflight. It was really easy to get. Do I have the better fishing add-on? I don't. What is the better fishing add-on? Truthfully, I try not to use a ton of add-ons. There's something about them that my computer finds really seems to really not like. There's an add-on I really like called WQ Achievements that lets you know what world quests are up in the whole game that offer either MOG or an achievement that you don't have already. And especially when I first load up the game, my computer gets really angry. I think I turned it off because it was giving me some grief yesterday. But it's really good. if your computer does not have those same problems. All right, 10 minutes. Surely our skull pile should be back by now. This is like comically better to use the large fishing bobber, actually. I don't know why I don't do this all the time. I will now. Yeah. I was trying for a while to use the... Yeah, Mies, I'm gonna teach you about all the toys. That's my jam. I love them. I was using the interact key to fish at some point. I think when I was farming the BFA Ray mount. And it's fine, like, so if you have your interact key bound, the next time, as long as you're facing your bobber, so mine's H, then you don't have to click. So I can just use the keyboard. But I think I kind of like just clicking. Plus, yeah, I don't even know what I just got because the little window came and went so fast. Jawless skulker bait. Some more WOD stuff. Okay, Mies, you were correct. The respawn timer on Wowhead is absolutely a lie because we're at 12 minutes now. I think it was 13 last time, but yeah. No worries, condiments. KJ in Remix is no joke. You gotta lock in for that. Better fishing lets you keybind the fishing cast. Oh yeah, so that's kind of what I was just saying, is you don't necessarily need that add-on anymore if you have your interact key turned on and bound. That was like something they added. That's not the right button. Like not too long ago. But it lets you just like interact with things with the keyboard instead. So as long as you're not too far away from your fishing bobber, you can just use that key. And I use it sometimes, but I almost like how active the clicking is. Because yeah, like I just used the interact key there and it like looted so fast it felt like I didn't do anything. Apparently I got some kelp. But yeah. Man. Yeah, where are our skulls, Mies? I didn't think this would be so slow. I was like, oh, 5-minute timers. That's chill. We'll get it in no time. After this cast, I'm just gonna like fly away and come back in case there's something weird happening. I start to get paranoid. Come on, no. Boo. Usually I would go find something else to do and then like swing by later, but I think the fishing is kind of feeling good right now. Although, yeah, I think those Wowhead comments, you can't trust them. It might be worth herbing after the next ones because, and I haven't had a chance to look at profession crafting for player housing yet, but BC mats, the ore more so, but like this is an herbing character, have always been really expensive, and I bet they're gonna get extra expensive. Oh, yay, skulls. All right. This is gonna be the one. I would like my toy, please. No, I keep getting in pants. Okay. Let's turn war mode back on. Yeah. It was attempt 7. 6 for today. Surely the next one. But maybe we'll herb or like kill some elementals for mats in between this one, because I think mat prices are going to be out like just crazy. I'm curious once housing comes up on the PTR. Big jobs. Sorry, means you get what in the big jobs? I probably said something and then like immediately forgot what the context was, but I want to spend some more time with crafting when housing comes back up on testing. Or I guess it's just beta, right? Beta comes out on the 11th, but I want to take a look. Oh yeah, no drops. I don't know what you guys do, but I have a character for every profession. Everything's maxed out. It's really like the limiting factor is going to be gold and materials. So if we can get ahead of that a little bit, that would be nice. All right, attempt number 8. Where's my toy? No. All right, start our timer. And we'll do some herbing and such. All right, well, hopefully my luck isn't like too terrible with this. It's already a little bit worse than I thought it was going to be. Wonder where the nearest elementals are to kill. If there are any in Terokk. I don't really remember. Obviously, it's been a super long time. And I'll probably have to go into Nagrand. I think that's where most of them are. Yeah. All right, that's probably worth it. It doesn't take too long to get anywhere anymore. Yeah, so I haven't been paying attention to the crafting for player housing too much, but I saw something like, I don't know, just randomly online, like a YouTube short or something, that was talking about how some of the vegetables that you can grow from your Pandaria farm are going to be needed for certain, like, of the Pandarian themed ones. So I've been trying to do that a little bit. Maybe, so in like half an hour after reset, I might go harvest those. Hopefully we have our toy by then. But since those are like a daily lockout, it seemed worth getting ahead of that a little bit. I'm just kind of guessing which of the vegetables will be needed since I don't have access to alpha, but better than nothing. Knowing absolutely nothing about player housing or retail, I watched your entire video, understanding 10% of it and retaining that, and loved it. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do you have any questions? Because maybe, I think I maybe tend to make the assumption that people have more of like the base knowledge than they do. So I'm like, assuming you have like, you know, the sort of intro information, here's like some extra stuff that you'll find interesting, but it can be hard to remember how much of your own knowledge is not necessarily like common knowledge, right? Like, especially if you're really into something. I think that happens to people in their day jobs a lot, right? Like if you're speaking to an accountant, they're going to talk about things related to their jobs in ways that wouldn't make any sense to you if you were like, I don't know, a mechanic or something. I'm just like choosing random things. But so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if I kind of glossed over some sort of like, I don't know, fundamental things that I've sort of forgotten aren't common knowledge to everyone. I don't know how to say that. Not like fun. That sounds kind of rude when I say it that way, but that's not what I mean. I guess things that are just like really natural in the environment that you are used to, that sound really unnatural to people who are less familiar with that environment. Maybe that's a more fair way of describing that. Some motes of earth. Yeah, this is probably a good thing to do in between, if we're just assuming that it's always going to be like almost 15 minutes. Yeah. No questions, just a sucker for lengthy video game essays. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I think we're so man. I think it's because I only had one coffee this morning. I'm out of milk now. So my voice is just like, excuse me, where's the rest of my caffeine? Hopefully that warms up eventually. We're so lucky to have the ability with like YouTube and podcasts and whatever else adjacent to that, that you can just listen to whatever your particular interest is on a level that like other generations didn't get to do. Like you can turn the radio on and listen maybe like once a week to a show you really like, or a channel that like generally gets you. But it's not really the same as being like, you know what I want right now is for Nobble to tell me everything about Ashara for the next 2 hours. Right, like it's kind of a privilege to be like, this is the niche thing that I want to hear about, and I can have it more or less on demand. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. There are wind elementals here too, right? Not just the earth ones. I guess there's everything. That was kind of the story of Necron, just like a bunch of stuff about the orcs and the elementals. I assume the Alliance version was not the same, but I did not play it. What do you think about information being so easily accessible with guides and gaming efficiently versus gaming for an experience or enjoyment? So that's tough, right? Because the prevalence of information kind of raises the skill ceiling or the like expectation of how people will play a game. I think there was a video maybe last year or the year before somebody made called like why it's rude to suck at World of Warcraft. And the title is kind of cheeky, but it's exactly what you're saying, right? Like with the information being so readily available, there's sort of this expectation that everybody knows everything. And I don't think it's reasonable to make everybody know everything, first of all. And it's not just video games that are like that either, right? It's the same with like any facet of social media where you have access to so many more details and like niche interests. You can go down the rabbit hole for like literally anything. And so having like a casual enjoyment of something is almost harder. And I felt that pressure for a while, I think particularly in Shadowlands, because we were home a lot too, right? It was COVID. That's sort of when I started watching more like stream content and like WoW specific YouTube. And I learned a lot, and I started watching like the MDI. And I, at that point, was exclusively in like collector brain. I was just farming achievements and like pets and stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm learning a lot from watching these guys. I should probably give Mythic Plus a try. And I thought the MDI was actually a really good way to sort of learn some of the nuances of the dungeons if you weren't super familiar. The casters kind of like teach you along the way. Some of them are better at it than others, but my point is that exposure to like the high end level, I was like, I can learn this. And I played the Mythic Plus seasons throughout Shadowlands, and I got my mounts. I wasn't very good, but I was trying. And that especially was before they did the rotating dungeons, right? Like season 4 of Shadowlands was when we got dungeons that rotated more often. So the whole thing was like exacerbated. You were expected to know all these things. The content didn't change that often. So if it was late, you were like really supposed to know it. And I felt all this pressure to be better and to be good. And I was trying. Like I was practicing, I was reading the guides, I was like logging. Oh, thanks, Condiments. I think we're good. We're at 9 minutes. If I head over now, it should be up again soon. And I'm getting some good stuff, actually. I should probably just sell the fish, but got some good herbs and things. But I appreciate it. And at some point in Dragonflight, or even, yeah, I think towards the end of Dragonflight, I was like, I don't need to be super great at Mythic Plus. Like, the pressure sort of fizzled, and I had been trying for long enough. I was like, it's fine if I just get my, like, KSM every season. I got my mount. I get some portals if I'm feeling up for it, but I don't want to be in the MDI. So, like, why am I putting all this time into it? And I think it's not great that we feel that pressure in the first place, and I'm not sure how to like mitigate it, but you just have to decide for yourself how far into each facet of the game you really want to go. Yeah. I'll put my ocean back out for the next little bit. Oh no, it's still on. That's a long cooldown. I thought it was 10 minutes. Yuck. All right, well, we'll just fish here. Yeah, I don't know if that really answered your question, Meeks, but I think we all just have to like decide for yourself how much of that you want to succumb to. Yeah, exactly. It's a fine line with playing optimally and learning yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Part of me wishes I was better at that part of the game, but I know that I don't really want to focus on that. And I watched a lot of content about like the folks that do high-end Mythic Plus. It seems like even they find it kind of frustrating, right? Like, especially the content creators, like they have to go on the PTR and learn everything ahead of time and like write their guides. It is their job. And so you can't really compare yourself to people whose job it literally is to know everything about that part of the game. And I think one of the last things that I heard that made me think like, oh yeah, I don't need to worry about this as much anymore was Tettles at some point talking about Priory. He was like, I feel sweaty at the end of that one. Like, he's like, obviously he's like kind of like a sweaty player, right? Like he plays at the top end, but he's like, I'm tired and I'm stressed out at the end of Priory. And I was like, I am also tired and stressed out like halfway through Priory. Like the second boss is really aggravating. If anyone's not coordinated, it's really unforgiving. And I was like, okay, like this is his job is to be good at this specifically, and he thinks it's too much. Like I can be kinder to myself about this. And I think actually relaxing about it made me better at that dungeon specifically, but probably all of it. Just being like, it's fine if I mess up. And I don't know if you guys played before they did the dungeon rotation, where like every season we get 8 new ones. But I think that made a huge help, because the attitude that I used to get in Shadowlands when I was learning and everybody already knew everything perfectly versus now is like night and day. All right, we're at that point. It's like 14 minutes. It's about where we've been. Yeah. Yeah, give us the skulls. I'm feeling stubborn about this now. Like, I'm not going to want to leave and do something else until we get it. I think if it still hasn't given it up by the daily reset, maybe I'll change my mind. But surely the next one. I felt that way about... Actually, no, I was going to say I felt that way about the Ember Worm from Karazhan, the mount. But that's not true. That's a 1 in 5. And if you just do it in a group, like one person is guaranteed to get it, I think is how it works. But I was doing it way after the fact. And I was like, I'll just do it by myself. Like, how bad can it be? It's a 20% drop chance. It took me like 12 tries. Skulls. All right, so that's like literally... It's like almost a full 15 minutes. I think it's been basically the same each time. Time-Lost Figurine now. Another mace. Alright, we go turn off war mode. That was attempt 9. Oops. At least it's not pants. Yeah, it's weird that we haven't gotten any new items, though, because there's like 5 on his loot table that I don't have. And we just keep getting weapons and pants. The audacity, yeah. It's very rude. When I was farming my crackling shards for the Alanira mount from the War Within, that was happening a lot, where especially the sort of rock dude, like way above Dornagal, just gave me the same item over and over and over again. And I was like, at the very least, like if I'm running around farming rares, you should give me all of the things on your loot table. And it wasn't until I was like waiting for my last crackling shard that I finally got everything from that guy. It's kind of driving me mental. All right, try again. Exactly. It owes me that much. I've put so much time in. Yes. Okay. Right on attempt 10. So it's a 1 in 10 chance. Excellent. Let's go. All right. Let's see what that looks like. Just move over here where it's a little bit better lit. Yeah. Right on the wire with the odds, though, Mies. That's the only reason I like rarity at this point. Like, oh, I like this. Does he do any emotes? Oh, he dances. Aw. That's cute. I don't think I've ever seen an Arakoa dance. A little shuffle. I like it. It's a flirty wave, too. I wonder if this persists through combat. Because some of my favorite... the transformation toys are often not my favorites, just because they don't last through combat. Oh, this one does. Fun. All right. Well, that's excellent. Oh, that was all of my figurines, too. Let's go to my garrison and take a look if we can find the rare in Nagrand. The one that turns you into a skull guy. Is that the Noggenfogger one? Like just the straight up skeleton? Yeah. That one's good. It's also kind of useful because it lets you breathe underwater or not need to breathe underwater maybe. I really like the Faldori egg that turns you into like the bug Nightborn. You know, the ones that like hide under, I guess if you didn't play Legion, maybe you aren't familiar, but they're sort of like spooky insect elves. This is not the Scarab Lord mount. This is the Wicked Swarmer, which... Wicked... Where did this one come from? This is from the new Horrific Visions that they added in the War Within. But I do have... I don't have the Scarab Lord one. Well, but I did just get this guy, which is maybe not similar, but reminds me. This is the Archaeology Akir mount, which is pretty fun. Oh god. Whew. But yeah, I like those, the Wicked Swarmer mounts. There's a couple of them. The other ones are from BFA. Oh, I think there's one also from Horrific Visions original, like the BFA one. And I think there's 3 that all look like that, but they're pretty good. Okay. So here we're looking for like a group of orcs that just runs around the zone, and their leader drops a toy. And it's supposed to be a pretty high drop rate as well, but he's a little bit hard to find. And I should have put war mode back on, actually. We'll see how it goes. I'll do a lap without war mode just because I've already started, and then I'll turn it on if I have to. Yeah, the blue is good. That, I was about to say that mount isn't that hard to get, but it is a lot of archaeology. I just got it pretty recently. Although I wasn't focused on it specifically for a while there. We're almost done with archaeology stuff. Like the Mog and the mounts and things. The achievements I think are going to take me a while still. The pristine artifacts are brutal. I should check what this guy's route is. Wandering around, picking fights with orc leaders, steal their Christmas presents. Oh no, Outrider. War Leader Tome. Okay, I'm just gonna open Wowhead for a second. Oops. I don't know if you can hear it when I accidentally hit my mic, but I did just do that. What did I say? Warlord? War Leader. Leader Tome. He has like kind of a weird patrol around the zone, and I always forget what the west side of it is. Okay, so like through. Okay. So it seems like I'm on the right track. He goes like through this part and then over here. I think this is the part that I always mess up. I don't realize he goes that far north, and then the rest that we've already done. I do have a little macro to like try to target him, but honestly by the time we see him, like I don't know if the if the macro is really helping us. Yeah, it must be this way, because I don't think he goes through any of the settlements. And then... Oh, no, nope, that's not him. Also not him. Okay, it says he goes this way. It's a lot harder to fly here. There's a lot of rares here that I do not need. Yeah. The few times that I've found him, I feel like I find him in the first, like, 2 minutes. And if I don't, then he's, like, not up at all. But I'll go turn war mode on and come back. We'll see. If he's not... If we can't find him, just gotta find something to do for, like, 15 minutes before the reset. We could fish. Okay, just use my Garrison Hearthstone, which is annoying. Ashran's gonna take me too far. Oh well. Turtle time, yeah, maybe. Or herbs. Yeah, herbs and Outland. The herbs and Outland was like a little bit more convenient just because we were there anyways. I'm kind of tempted to hop onto my one of my alliance characters and just fish for Ironjaw for like 10 minutes. Because I very rarely remember to do that, and it would be nice to just not think about it anymore. We're going like here-ish. Just have something to aim for. Actually, I was going to say logging onto the alliance character would be good too, because there's an alliance achievement I need for a toy, but that would be like, okay, figure it out in 10 minutes. I hope it goes well. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't want to be rushed. Some of those things you need like a few tries to sort out. A lot of the BFA meta achievements were like that. Oh, this was... where you had to like use a few alts to get it right. It was a little fussy. I think there will be a day, Mies, where I do a bunch of farming once I know what I'm farming for. So after the midnight beta comes out on the 11th, I'll take a look at the profession stuff and maybe target a few things that I don't even want to make a bunch of profit. Like, I'm not very good at playing this game to make gold. But I wouldn't mind knowing, like, oh, what things am I going to want a lot of? I'm definitely going to want a lot of the, like, Forsaken stuff. And thankfully, quite a lot of that is for currencies that I have lots of. But there's also some for the service medals from BFA. Yeah, honor-bound service medals. And, like, I'm kind of waiting. I could run Warfronts ahead of time. But I'm hoping they change the way Warfronts work so that it will be less painful. Do you have any current goals, or are we just channeling your inner completionist? So we're in that sort of, like, end of season, end of expansion place where I don't have any like seasonal goals left, right? Like, I've kind of done everything that I was after. Oh, I got excited for a second. I thought that was them. But this is always a good time to focus on this stuff, right? Like I would like to get as many of my toys that I don't already have. Yeah, just some doggos. So chip away at the toy collection. Sort of anything to prep for player housing, but I just need a little bit more information from the beta before I feel like that's really worth my energy, like in this moment. And there's a few other things that might come up depending on, like, I don't know how long we're really waiting between the beta and midnight proper. Do you have goals left that you're working on from the War Within? Oh. This doesn't seem cool. That seems like a bad sign. That seems like somebody just killed one or two of them. It's usually a pack of like 8 together. I don't know. Oh, I think I'm a little too far south. Yes, this trail. I'm at the point with my collection where everything that's left is kind of, not everything, like this isn't so bad really. But a lot of what's left is kind of a slog. So just trying to pick my way through it at a reasonable rate. And every once in a while I'll get something that really feels like the right thing to work on, of the more tedious things. Don't play WoW, but I love the music and lore. I tried, but there was so much to do. I got decision paralysis. Yeah. You really have to start small and figure out what speaks to you. Like, this game is just way too big to do anything else. If you like the music and you want something like tiny, actually you probably have this already if you played in Warlords, but I was gonna say, if you just wanted to like give yourself something to start with that sort of like hit your interests, there's an achievement from the WAD Garrison to collect all of the soundtracks, and then there's a jukebox in your garrison that you can choose like whatever music plays while you're in there, and it takes a while, but you get to run a bunch of old instances. Like, there's music from the Black Temple, there's music from some of the Wrath dungeons. I don't quite remember all of them, but like it kind of takes you around. Let's see, that would be expansion features, Draenor. It's here somewhere. Full discography. No. Yes. The Winter Spring music. I think that's on there. That's odd. So it says collect all the music rolls, but I thought it would list them. Oh, if you mouse over. So, Burning Legion. Oh, condiments. You need 520 more delves. I mean, at least you don't have to finish that before the War Within, right? Like, that's an achievement you can work on forever. See, I feel like there's a Winter Spring one, but it has a name. I don't think it's just called like the Winter Spring track. I feel like one of these is from that zone, though. I vaguely remember having to go there. But anyways, this is a great one if you just want to like explore the music as well as kind of like the game. All right. So, I've got like 7 minutes. And okay, there's an achievement on the Alliance side. Upright Citizen. I don't know what I'm just going to look real quickly. There's not going to be time to do this, even if it's up. It awards a toy. Recruit 3 extra citizens during the assault quest. 2 sober citizens brigade. Oh. Okay, so it requires, I think, the Tears Guard sound assault to be up, which is not. So pressure's off a little bit. I also have a lot of delves to do condiments. Because I think, so it says I'm at 383 of 500 for this, but I think there's another one after. I'm not sure like which one you're on. Probably the next one. If you need 520 more, you must be on the out of 1,000 version. Which, like, good on you. I feel like I do a lot of delves. Where am I going? Ironforge. There's got to be a faster way of getting there. Yeah. Yeah, Delver Infinite for 1,000. 480 of the 500 one. How do you feel about them? Like, I think the season 2 delves really hit their stride. The first season, I was like, not really sure. I think I like it, but it's not quite right. And the season 2 ones for me were really good. I thought the addition of like the goblin storylines were really cool. And then the season 3 ones, maybe they were just the same as season 2. Maybe that's what I'm feeling, is like, it's not that they were worse. It's just that sense of improvement maybe wasn't there. Like the jump between season 1 and season 2 felt good. I'm like, oh, I think they're starting to figure this out. And then maybe season 3 was just the same. I'm curious what... Come on, brain, you can do it. What the midnight ones will be like. There's a portal to Ironforge here, right? Yeah. Season 2 were great. Season 3 is nice because of the chance to skip some of the delves. True. To the treasure gate. The flicker gates were a great addition. Season 2 were faster to complete on average. That's probably true too. I hadn't really reflected on that, but yeah. All right, can I fish here? It looks, oh, that's not my fishing button on this character. Yeah. So I don't have access to the alpha, but I have been watching some of the creators who do. Did I move fishing somewhere weird? And they don't seem very impressed so far. I don't know if that's fair, because I think they weren't, they're not complete, right? It's just kind of like go in and take a peek levels for the delves on alpha. It's hard to judge anything on alpha, but yeah. I really like delves in general. Just finished Kaiveza double question mark. Man, good for you. That's hard. Solo challenge in WoW is something I hope they continue. Yeah. I really like the delve bosses as well. I get tilted way too much for the double question mark ones. I've tried all of them, and I just get too angry. I'm like that with the sort of Mage Tower challenges too, which I've managed to do eventually, but with the seasonality of the double question mark bosses, I can't bring myself to do it in the time frame. Like, the pressure makes me anxious. Oh, I just got a music roll. That's funny. The Cold Mountain. Fun. Nope, that's the wrong button. I think Underpin especially. I've been maining Mistweaver Monk predominantly for the War Within and Dragonflight. And so for Underpin, I was working on that as Brewmaster. And there was an attempt where I got him to like 12%. And then something kind of like RNG happened, or I had like a lapse in concentration and I died, and I was just like, I don't think I can start this over again. I'm not emotionally prepared for that sort of devastating moment again. So I don't know. I've tried double question mark Kaiveza a few times. I found the single question mark one like really satisfying, but the clones, the ghosties that you have to face, drive me insane. I've got like, I'll change all my sort of like accessibility settings and gamma, like all the little tricks to make them more visible, but they just drive me mental. And so that one especially, just like I get too angry, but grats to you for doing it. It is so hard. How many tries did it take you, or do you count that sort of thing? Sometimes that can be harder if you're keeping track. I think I like half started at 27. That's nothing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, on a 702 Windwalker Monk. Nice. I haven't. I guess I would have also been trying on Windwalker. Figured out the clones and she fell over, but they are very frustrating. Though, yeah, like they're not. It's not hard. Like it's like the concept, the mechanic makes sense. The clones themselves just they're so shadowy, it's easy to like lose track of one of them and then you're just screwed. So that's really impressive though, 27. Good for you. Yeah, I think I just have to let go of some of those seasonal challenges. Because the extra pressure of trying to get them done within like a 6-month or 8-month window is too much. Okay. Well, there's our few little attempts for Ironjaw while we waited for reset. And we will go to the Timeless Isle for a few minutes. I was using a hide UI macro for the clones and other things she does when she splits. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I haven't read about that particular trick. The certainly like the chat bubbles for the cup game were really handy. Although I've been watching Hazel's stream as she's been trying double question mark more than I did. I kind of like tried 5 times and was like I don't have the mental for this. The cup game looks hard. Like super duper hard. All right, so this will just take a few minutes. I'm working on the going to need a bigger bag achievement. And all I need is the item from this rare that I can just like make spawn. So yeah. God, this achievement. Yeah. I don't know why I chose this achievement. I think at some point I was farming for Hulan and realized, like, well, if I'm here all the time, I might as well kill all the other rares. So I just started, and, you know, I mean, now I only have 1 item left. I can't stop. I'm also 2 away from the Nazjatar version, the give me the biggest bag you've got. So same thing. I'm like, well, I can't just ignore it. I have to put some effort in. But this one, I'm shocked, has taken so long. Of all the items on the list that I thought would be last, this was not one of them. Because you can force him to spawn. Like, you can kill him every day. It makes no sense. Better than I. Still have like 9 things on the Timeless Isle achieve. It's rough. If I had, this is just one of the things on the list that I've sort of, that's gotten under my skin, or I would have, it isn't pleasant. That'll be the very last achieve I ever do. So you say that, but I don't know if there must be a hidden achievement for it. if not an achievement proper, in the Throne of Thunder, the Pandarian raid. There's a toy that is the geyser gun. I'll pull it up when I hop onto my next character. And the requirements for getting that toy, if they don't give you an achievement alongside it, like, I can't believe they would be that cruel. It's worse. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I remember your comment. That's the last on mine. Like, I will do all the PvP achievements in the game before I do that one. Unless it gets nerfed by, like, some future ability. Like, I could see maybe one day Drakthir or Demon Hunters having just, like, something a little bit more in their toolkit to make it easier. I know it's already supposed to be easier on them. Can't do it, man. That's kind of like the wipe on Underpin, right? Like, can you imagine you're trying to get 200 bounces on those geysers? I'll bring it up. Just 250 stacks of spray water from the geysers before Tortos. Yeah. So, like, can you imagine being at 240 and then messing up? Like, I just... Yeah. I'm not built for those moments. Like, watching the Race to World First when they do, like an FPS drop, that would make me so mad. Those, the 1% wipes during the Race to World First, just, like, I bless them for powering through. In Dragonflight, I got into Arena for a while. I got 3 vicious mounts during Dragonflight. It was great. I wish I had the fortitude to keep up with that, but it's pretty grueling. But at one point, I was like almost at 1800. I was so close. I was probably like 2 games away. If I won, I could get there. And my internet went out during a match and I lost like 200 rating or something. Like, it was brutal. And I remember just like sitting there afterwards being like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't desert. I didn't leave. Like, I just got disconnected. And that having it drop so drastically, I was like, I don't know, guys, like, I'm out. It felt so in reach and then just impossible. Yeah. Oh, you're a huge PvPer? I wish I was better at it. For a lot of reasons. I liked it in the early days of the game. Like, I played so much Warsong Gulch in BC. And I loved it. I still really like Warsong Gulch, but Arena especially, you have to be so on top of things, and I, first of all, like, feel the need to play healer, but also will eventually get kind of overwhelmed. Like, it's a lot to keep track of. I'm super curious. You can in BC again soon. W, you're not wrong. I don't know if I can go back to Classic, though. Yeah. I'm optimistic and curious what they're doing in Midnight to make PvP more accessible. I know they've said they're like introducing some sort of AI modes to help people learn that should be more challenging than Comp Stomp, but like less, I don't know, demoralizing than going up against like Gladiator level players. Arena is really overwhelming. It helps to have someone that can help slow it down. I help a lot of my guildies and friends. That's really nice of you. Yeah, and I think it is just like having someone to guide you makes such a huge difference. Like, I in season 1 of Shadowlands, when kind of everybody was doing PvP because there was a player power thing involved, I found a really nice rogue who helped me out for a while. I think just to 1600, but I was like so incredibly thankful for his help. It was fantastic. I always come back to retail, do BGs for a week, and realize I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, yeah. I I'd love to learn one day, but I think it is going to be like, oh, I need somebody to help, or I need it to be just like a little bit more simplified, which maybe we'll get in Midnight. I started playing PvP and yeah, Shadowlands Season 1. It was fun. It's kind of like, it's fun until it's not, though. Yeah. In case, W, especially since you just showed up, you're wondering what on earth I'm doing at my Pandaria farm. From what I understand, there will be some player housing recipes that require some of these vegetables. So I'm just planting a few when I remember to do it. Kind of like haphazardly for now. And then once the beta is live, I'll find out for real what I should be planting. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not Mop Classic. I was just saying yesterday, I love every time I get fed the Mop Classic ad, though, like on Instagram or wherever, because it's just a little meditation exercise. It's like, there's like not really anything going on except a little green orb that's just like inhale, exhale, and no matter what I'm doing, I mean, like I'm doom scrolling, so obviously I shouldn't. I'm not in a good mental place, basically, because none of us should be doing that. I got no seeds. My bags are a disaster right now. It's always a real like nice little moment of peace. Just be like, I should be breathing more calmly, or at all, frankly. If you're wondering why I'm doing this silly head tilt every time I look at this part of my screen, it's because my mic boom is kind of in the way. That's bind won't equip. Maybe I can sell that. We want that. I don't really want to like deal with all of these things right now. I just want to cactus seed. Okay, we'll see what that's about. I think I have, yes, songbell seed. Those are rare things, right? I don't remember any of this. No, I didn't want to sell that. Yeah, I think you can make like vegetable baskets or something for your player housing kitchen. I heard the other day a lot of the housing additions will require the new currency they are coming out with. I don't think that's true. That would be really upsetting if it were true, but the last thing I read about Hearthsteel is that only like 1% of the items that are currently in the housing catalog are from the cash shop. And from the interviews that we've gotten, the ratio to in-game to cash shop things should be the same as it is today for like mounts and toys. So hopefully, I want pumpkins this time. Hopefully that's true. I'm still kind of wondering if they walk back the Hearthsteel thing. It like doesn't, I was talking about this a little on Friday, it just doesn't make sense for WoW, right? Like we have this established system for the cash shop that the player base is pretty okay with. Like give me a high value thing, like a really cool mount, and I'll pay real money for it. And they could just do that with housing. I don't really understand why they aren't, which makes me just wonder if they are going to change their mind, especially since the reception to Hearthsteel's been so bad. Because if they just sold me a really nice living room set for $20, like I might go for that. But the idea that what you actually want me to do is buy fake money and then kind of suffer through the decision paralysis of, I don't know, figuring out if I want like 4 candles or 8, and like, is that worth the 10? I don't know. There just seems like a lot of extra steps that they're introducing for no reason at all. And so I'm pretending that they're going to come to their senses. We'll see. I'm just going to hope that I'm right. But I think to your point, W, is like basically just, I don't think there are going to be too many things on the cash swap. If you've been on the PTR at all on the days that they've done sort of like public stress tests, there's a lot just in the open world from regular quartermasters. So I think we'll be okay. You can just ignore the stuff on the cash shop if you want to. I hope not. It will drive a lot of people the wrong way. Yeah, like it's just a lot of kind of ill will. That they're introducing. I feel like, with no information whatsoever, that there just weren't the right people in the room for when that decision got made. Like, whoever was talking about it couldn't have been one of the like really tenured Blizzard people, because I don't think anyone who's been part of the game, like from the building, development, planning perspective, would have come to this conclusion on their own. Like, we have an established formula, you know? Okay, so there's my pumpkins and some other stuff. I think I'm gonna take a break because I have been streaming for almost 2 hours, which I think is a new little record for me. And I've still only had one coffee, so I think I need to fix that. But thank you, everyone, for keeping me company on this journey, especially earlier when I was waiting around for those silly Terokk skulls. That was a little bit frustrating. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but Wowhead said it would be 5-minute respawn, and it wasn't. Yeah, thanks very much, Mies. I will be back on Tuesday in the afternoon. I'll be back 4:30 Eastern, and then it'll be a little bit. I'm not able to stream for about like 4 or 5 days after that, but I will be back, and I'll make sure that's like reflected in all the right places. But thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you again soon. Cheers, guys.